Welcome to Coffee with Viking. I am Mike. Cheers. Deuteronomy, the final words of Moses. Home is just across the river, standing on the highland plateau in what is now Jordan. The Israelites can finally see their green river valley below and the hills beyond. It's certainly an emotional sight for this band of refugees. They and their ancestors have just endured 430 years in Egypt, followed by another 40 in the Egyptian Badlands. It's probably emotional for Moses, too, but for another reason. He has to say goodbye. He will die before the river crossing. Deuteronomy is a record of his last speeches to the Israelites. Moses does three things in these speeches. 1, he gives the people a history lesson. Many of the Israelites are too young to remember the miracles God did for them in Egypt and during the Exodus. So Moses carefully reviews them and assures the people that more miracles are coming. 2, he renews the agreement between God and the Israelites. Moses reminds the people that God expects them to obey his laws. Only then will God continue to bless this emerging nation. So Moses reviews those laws. Afterward, he leads the group in a ritual of renewing and contractual agreement of covenant which God made with the previous generation. And 3, he appoints Joshua as his replacement, which is actually the next book after Deuteronomy. God chooses Joshua, a warrior, to lead the Israelites in taking back their homeland. Moses installs him as the nation's new leader, and he couldn't have made a better choice. With his work finished, Moses dies. The main point of Deuteronomy: if the Israelites obey God, they can expect protection, blessing, and a good life in their promised homeland. If they don't, they might as well pack their bags and move on before God sends disaster, disease, and invaders to drive them out. The writer. This book doesn't name the writer, but Jewish and Christian tradition says Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, ending with Deuteronomy. Most of Deuteronomy is a collection of speeches Moses gave to the Israelites, and most of those speeches review the laws and instructions God gave the Israelites. Moses wrote this entire body of instructions in a book and gave it to the priest. The date, about 1400 BC or 200 years later. And location, east of the Jordan River in what is now the country of Jordan. Canaan, now called Israel, is within view westward across the river. We are now in the final book of Moses, or as the Jewish they call it the Torah. Stay strong in the word of the Lord. Stay blessed. Stay caffeinated. Much love.